Hey guys, how y'all doing, and welcome back to the channel. My name's David and I fix RVs, and today I'm just doing a little update video on this tent shop that I've been putting together. It's like an ongoing project, and also we'll talk about this furnace too. Let's get started. Added this heavy duty tarp to cover the entire tent storage and got it held in with lock nuts and washers all the way around there through the top, on the corners. And it just pretty much it covers the entire tent. It does not cover the front, and it doesn't cover the back either. And I've got my furnace installed down there. I'll show you the back over here. That's the back section. So like I said, I've got the tarp, the new heavy-duty tarp covering the whole top, but this back is just, that's the original part there. And this tent was quite a bit longer than it needed to be, tarp I mean, so I just kind of overlapped it and let it hang down on the ground over here. I've got it screwed to pallets inside the tent, and then I've got a couple of pellets that I had left over from the project that I just threw on top of the tarp here to help hold it down if it gets really windy. It does have stakes, and there's sandbags in there too. At some point I'm hoping to put a door, like a real door on the front, a door with handles and knobs that you can just, it's kind of a pain getting in. One thing I did do to make it a little bit easier though is I screwed that side down there, so now you don't have to use two hands to unzip it. You can just get in with one hand. Then when you come into the tent, I've got one motion sensor light up, there on the top that kind of shines on the workbench area. Stays on for 3 minutes when you walk in, just to give me enough time to get over there and turn on the switch to get the rest of the lights going. That's the switch that turns on the rest of them, but basically I've got one row of lights there, then I got another row right up there. This is all above the workbench area. I put a 12-volt refrigerator in, and you guys know, or you may already know, I'll put this in a previous video, I've got a 120-volt furnace over there. At least the motor runs off of 120-volt, but it also uses propane too. This thing's using a lot of propane. I've got a used furnace over here on my bench that I've been working on. I think I've actually got it going, and I'm going to install this somewhere down there. There isn't a whole lot of room down there because right now I've got this other furnace venting in this direction, so if I put it, right here next to it, this is going to block the heat from that one. The plan for now is though that this 120-volt furnace is just going to turn into a backup, and I'm going to install this 12-volt furnace down there. That way it'll be just like an RV. When the power goes out, I will still have heat. If the power goes out with that furnace there, I'll lose my heat. Since I installed this backer board behind my workbench here, one option I have is that I could install that 12-volt furnace right down there, but then I would lose this storage area. Not that there's a lot of storage there, but probably have to take some measurements to see, just to make sure it's not gonna, get too close to the back of this electrical panel. Or maybe even I could go all the way down there. I've got wood down there too. I put this backer board on my bench so that I could move some outlets forward, and then I got my DeWalt charger on there and my battery load tester. Then I did install some forward-facing lights on this bench too. It's probably hard to see with all, this furnace is right now, it's sitting on top of them, but been spending a lot of time out here having fun. I installed a converter charger panel down here, and I got a 12-volt battery. It's kind of dark in there. Get over here and show you some of the specs. That's a lithium battery. It's kind of dark down there, but that's the one I went with. I watched one of Will Prow's videos, and he said that as far as the cheaper 100 amp batteries go, this was one of the good ones that he recommended. As furnace goes, I put another board in here too. Since this is for me, I just put one of the cheaper boards in here. Save the good boards for my customers over here. I do stock the cheaper boards as well, because I do have some customers who can't afford the dinosaur boards. What I do is I give them the option. I tell them that you can get one of these cheaper boards and it'll work, but it only comes with a 30-day warranty, whereas these dinosaur boards come with a 3-year warranty, and that's why they cost so much more money. These are the only 3 boards that I stock. The first 2 boards here are both for water heaters and furnaces. These are universal boards too, like these fit like up to about 16 different appliances basically. That's why I started stocking these. They're kind of expensive. Let's see, this one's the, what is this one here? That's the Fan 50 Plus. I've installed a lot of these since I started stocking these dinosaur boards. And then this back one here, let's see if I can get it open with one hand is not easy. Okay, that one's for refrigerators. That's the Micro P711. This one's for Dometic refrigerators. It's a really common board too. I've installed a lot of those. The one that I put over in my furnace here, this is about a $35 knockoff board on Amazon. These other boards over here, if I installed one of these are about close to $150. So I just picked this furnace up today. I got a call from an older lady who said that her furnace stopped working. She's tired of putting money into it and she just wants a brand new furnace. So we ordered her a new furnace. I did go over there first, and when I went over there, I told her, it's possible that it might just need a new control board. What it was doing was it was like the fan would turn on and the propane would light. It would stay on for a couple seconds, then go off, and it would come back on and go off. It just kept turning on and off. And I told her there might be a problem with the flame sensor or the control board, so I offered to swap the control board out real quick just to see if that would fix it. And I swapped out the board and that did not solve the problem, so she said, okay, let's just go ahead and get a new furnace. She didn't really want to pursue working on this furnace, so we ordered a new furnace. I went over there and I installed the new furnace, and I brought this one home with me, and I took it out of the cage and took a bunch of parts, a bunch of wires apart, and cleaned up connections, and I added a couple of new connectors here too. And right now it seems to be working. I can't get it to not work anymore. Let's see, let me just make sure I've got the propane turned on here. But it seems to light every time now, and it just stays lit. And so if it does work, I'm going to go ahead and put this thing back into its cage and install it in the tent shop. And right now it's staying lit. It is not doing what it was doing at her place. Yeah, so I think this thing is fixed. Knowing my luck, I'll probably install it and then it'll start messing up on me again. In a previous video, I mentioned that I would do a test to see how long we could run an RV furnace with 1 DeWalt battery inside of my portable power station. So look forward to that video. I will be recording that video with this furnace before I install it. Alright guys, I hope this video was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.